Hi everyone, Lucy here. I've been inspired to give this talk because I heard a TED talk by a girl called Claudia Christian, and she was a alcoholic dependent, or whatever she called it, alcohol dependency issues and whatever, which she had for a decade. And she gave this TED talk, and in it she described how she overcame her addiction by taking a pill. I'm not sure exactly what the program was called, but it was created by a guy called Roy Escarbo, and basically the pill she took stopped her having her alcohol dependency, which I found really strange. I thought, well, if you're going to take a pill that stops a function in your brain, obviously it's going to lead to something more dramatic further down the line. And I couldn't quite grasp the thought of taking a pill to stop your brain function, to stop you wanting to drink alcohol. She had said that she'd been to everyone from neuropsychologists right down to people realigning her chakras. And I thought, well, there's your problem, because you want everyone else to fix the problem for you. You have to do the work, feel whatever it is that you need to feel. You have to feel it. There isn't any other way around it. And, the thing is, she was convinced that she didn't have a bad childhood, so it couldn't have been anything to do with her childhood. But it's very subjective when people say that they didn't have a bad childhood, because she could have had an uncle or a close family friend, or somebody who was actually hiding their drinking, who was pretending everything was okay. Because as children, we don't hear words. We suck up the energy. We suck up their behavior. We don't actually recognize words as such. And when our programs are formed, we're only under 7. And so what language do you really understand? So I was an alcoholic, and I had been an alcoholic for about 3 decades, alcohol dependent. And I think the thing that really helped me to heal, I had a myriad of addictions. I might just add in there, because I'll explain a little later about the latest addictions. But I think that when I actually grasped that, until I felt what I was feeling, instead of trying to drown out the feelings all the time, that I wasn't going to stop drinking. There was no way. I had to break the cycle. I had to feel whatever it was that I needed to feel. And even though there's an intense pain that you feel, it only lasts for about a couple of minutes. And then you start to heal from that, and you feel better and better as the healing progresses. When I was doing my research for addictions, it was really quite funny, because I came across a story. But when I was doing my research for science, I came across another story, completely different, nothing to do with each other. And what I discovered was, in science, they say that about 100 years ago, quantum physics was discovered, and that should have changed the way we live our lives today. But when I was researching my addictions, I found that 100 years ago, the word addiction actually became a negative one. Because they used to have, in Shakespeare's days, which was about the 1600s, addiction used to mean a good thing. They would have people who were addicted to farming, or to, like, the tailors or whatever. They were addicted. It was considered their passion. It was a good thing. Then about 100 years ago, they reverted to the Romans word of addiction, which is addicticus, which means when a person had defaulted on a loan, they would become a slave to their creditor, so an enslavement. That is the new word for addiction, which became relevant about 100 years ago, which I find, which blew my mind actually, because I thought, well, how many people actually know about quantum physics, and how many people know what quantum physics actually is? It is a form of science, this is according to Dr. Bruce Lipton, the most validated and tested of all the sciences. So when you think about it, and we as normal human beings, everyday human beings, don't really know about it. We don't really hear about it unless you go and look for the information. But this should be the way we are living our lives. The Newtonian way of living, which is the way we are living now, which is everything is material, is no longer relevant. We are energy. That is what we are. And I think the reason why governments like to control us, and if we knew how powerful we were, we wouldn't be so fearful of everything. I mean, the only way they are controlling us now is by fear. This virus will kill you. If you go out, it will kill your relatives, blah, blah, blah. So the fear is what keeps us under control. Fear is the lowest vibrational oscillation, if you like, that there is, whereas gratitude is the highest. So if you stay in fear, it's easier to keep you there. It's harder to come out of fear. It's easy to go from gratitude to love to peace, but it's harder to go from fear to love, from fear to gratitude, from fear to peace, because you're so stuck in your cycle of addictive thinking that you stay with fear. So I also came across, there was actually something else interesting that I recognized, which was Rupert Sheldrake, who's a British researcher and who has he's done a lot of research on morphic resonance, which is plants growing a certain way, animals behaving a certain way. He actually had a banned TED talk, and the reason I actually saw the talk before it was banned, and the reason it was banned was because he said that between, I think it was about 1930 till about 1950, somewhere around there, the speed of light changed by 20 kilometers per second, which is a huge difference. And his talk was banned because of him saying that. But that's a fact. So people like Brian Cox, who don't really want us to know the truth, will say that, well, no, that was just a mistake, or it wasn't relevant, or whatever. But this is a fact, that the speed of light had changed by 20 kilometers per second, which shows you that we are energy, and energy is always changing. There's nothing that is set. There's no set ways of the earth evolving or moving. So what I'm trying to say is that through our consciousness, we can change our reality. And I am living proof of that. I mean, how much I've changed in the last few years, how much my life has changed, is just unbelievable. You know, coming out of that fear, out of the addictions, and raising my vibration has just been unbelievable. I mean, like about 100 years ago, the things they try to do that would keep us addicted or keep us distracted from reality is we see something wrong with our body. We have coffee addictions, we have success addictions, we have focusing on lack addictions, we have spending money, we don't have addictions. But I mean, all these new addictions that we have that they didn't exist, say about 200 years ago, are all new distractions because scientists have now discovered quantum physics, that we are energy first before we are materialistic. We are energy and then we are materialistic. If you think about anything you want, you think it's a thought, it becomes a belief, and then it becomes reality. So by thinking about things, we make it our reality. So if you think about your thoughts that you all the time are thinking about, and 90% of our thoughts are what we were thinking about yesterday. Our past is our present, because our thoughts are what we are thinking about all the time becomes our reality. So when you change your thoughts, you change your reality. Change your thoughts, change your beliefs, change your reality. I've been a aerobics instructor, fitness instructor for the last 35 years. So I know what I'm doing when I'm exercising. And so I started to think, well, our body is everything. Our body is where our emotions are. Our body is where our heart is. It is everything in terms of raising your vibration. You can use your brain, you can use your mind, you can try and control them, but really the fastest way to raising your vibration is through exercise. And so I thought about this and I thought, well, you need to be present and you need to raise your vibration basically to change your life. So I created these dances, nice and easy dances. You can do a dance for abundance, you can do a dance for love, you can do a dance for raising your goddess energy, etc., etc. You can go on and on. So I've created dances with every song being of this era, this sort of era, 80s, 90s, 2000s. I've just taken songs that have particular themes, like Gold, for example, which was by Spandau Ballet. I've made that the abundance. Then I've taken Toast by Coffee, which is gratitude. So when you are in that frame of mind, dancing, feeling that gratitude, feeling the abundance, your vibration really changes. You finish dancing, you finish the song, and you think, wow, I feel completely different. So that is one way of raising your vibration. And my life has changed so much because of raising my vibration. And I would like yours, if you would like to change your vibration. So I've got Gold on YouTube, and I'll eventually put more songs on, dances on, and I hope you do them, and I hope you change your vibration. So thank you very much. Goodbye. Namaste.